Basically, in this video, I'm just going to go over how you can be more mysterious, more attractive, and how to 10x your presence when it comes to people, friendships, girls, or any of the sorts like that, right? And how you can make people think about you when you're not around, and you're going to be very seductive, very attractive, and so on. So first of all, why is building mystery, or like being mysterious, very important and very crucial when it comes to seducing people and having influence over them? First of all, you need to understand that we people need to believe or something, and we are naturally curious. Okay, that's why we have mystery boxes and stuff, right? That's why we gamble. It's like the mystery, like what if, like what if it's something good, what if it's something bad, or like what if it's like we like to think a lot about certain things, right? And we like to be proven right or proven wrong sometimes. But adding mystery is basically just going to get people to think about you when you're not around. One quick and simple way that I was able to do this, especially if like you're in school or something, or if you're trying to, make a really good impression to have this girl thinking about you, right? Say you're trying to cold approach a girl, or like you find this person very attractive and you're trying to like seduce them, like play the long term game. You first of all, like in the first impression, or like the first time you meet this person, and you add mysterious, like add some mystery to you, you're gonna have this person thinking about you when you're not even around. So one thing that I used to do was I used to tell these people, like, I can't tell them where I work. I used to tell them, like, they made me sign a DNA or DNE or something. Basically, it's like a non-disclosable agreement. And in reality, I worked at McDonald's, right? But what happened was, is like I told them that, like, I can't tell them where I work, and what they thought was is they Loki thought I was a cop, but it had so many people thinking about me, and I didn't even have to put that much effort into it, and they're thinking about me, and they're like, whatever, and I had so much influence, right? They looked up to me because they are like, oh, what does he do? Why can't he tell us, like, right? But I even actually lied about it, and I told them I had a twin brother who worked at McDonald's, even though it was me. I had this second identity. I was actually called Alex, Alexander or whatever, because one time this girl accidentally said my name wrong. Like she didn't even know my name. She was like, "Oh, it was Alex, right?" I was like, "Yeah, okay." So I just played along with it. Like I just like messing with people. I don't really care. Like at the end of the day, because you know I'm having fun with life. I don't take things so personally. If you forget my name, it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't really affect me. Like I don't even know you. I don't even blame you, right? So that's one way to build mystery. Another way is to be a paradox. Being a paradox is very so seductive, right? Because it contradicts one another. Think of superheroes, right? You got the good guy who's trying to do the good thing, but then you got the villain who's trying to do the right thing in his own way, but he's like the bad guy, right? He's more free. He's more, one or the other. That's why it's very seductive. Like if you ever watch Fight Club, you got the narrator who's like the loser, and then you got Tyler Durden, who's the complete opposite of him, right? He's like the Chad guy. He's very free. He's very open, and the narrator is more like society, very weak, very basically the polar opposites, right? Yet they are the same person. You kind of have to be a walking contradiction, right? So one way you can do this, especially like from experiences, use what you're wearing. Okay, literally, you see how like I'm wearing something like this, people would probably assume like I'm like rude or something like that, right? Like I don't know, I feel like it gives off like thug or like something like that, right? But what it what's the opposite of a thug? Someone who's like very nice. Like I'm very like nice. I'm very open. I'm very like therapeutic when it comes to people. So it's kind of like a walking contradiction, right? Use your reputation. If you have a reputation of being like very nice, show a little dark side, like a little dark side of you, right? Say something out of the norm. It's gonna get people to think there's more to you. It's gonna build depth, and when you build depth, people are gonna be curious about you, and they're gonna be thinking about you when you're not around. And you can even use this with business if you're trying to sell something. I just recently realized that, like we have all these like mystery toys, like, gambling and like we're like, oh, what am I gonna get? Like, like a mystery box, right? I remember growing up, like on YouTube, we would always have like these mystery boxes and like watch them over and over again, especially like kids nowadays. Like I remember like the mystery eggs or something, and I was like, damn, I wonder what's inside of it, right? You're curious about it, and if you get period, if you get curious and if you get people curious about you, then you have mass influence over them, right? Because they're gonna want to stick around. They're gonna want to try and figure you out because they have depth. You add depth to yourselves, okay? You can also, here's another way to become more interesting or like more charismatic or like seductive. Go out, like say the next time you go out to a party or like a social event, or if you want to go like talk to this girl in person, right? Have a friend with you who is very boring, okay? Or not very boring, but like, literally have your friend, like have him as like a wingman, and have him go talk to your person that you want to like seduce, or like, go talk to like the one that you find attractive, and have him be as boring as possible, okay? Be as boring as possible, and then like have him talk to him for like maybe 5-10 minutes. He's very boring, it's dropping her emotions down, like her expectations, and then you come around, you're gonna be way more interesting, way more flashy, like maybe with your clothes or anything, like you're the complete opposite of what your friend just gave to her. And by contrast, you kind of create like the contrast effect, like you like a paradox, right? You contradict what your friend was doing, and it's gonna make you more seductive because you're giving the more high quality, what's it called, and it's way more effective than if you just went up to go talk to her and like just be interesting, you know what I mean? Also, another way to build more mysterious is like talk less. Literally just have other people talk about themselves. Like literally be interested in other people, and by doing so, you talk less about yourself, and by talking less, people are gonna generally wonder why you don't talk about yourself that much, and you're just like, okay, talk of the surface matters, and then like be kind of like bland at first, right? If you want to build mysterious, if, like being mysterious and stuff like that, literally just sit there and just listen to what the other person has to say, ask questions about them, be genuinely interested in them, and you will get like so much information from that alone, right? It's part of the art of seduction, which is like a course that I'm finna sell soon, like maybe like a week or two. But it's very crucial to build mysterious, like being mysterious, like very early on in the seduction, because you want this person to think about you as much as possible, and change that interest into desire, and I'll go later into detail about that later. But here's some free advice that like I just want to talk about. If you want to make yourself look as an object of desire, literally have surround yourself with the opposite sex, right? So if I wanted to look as like an object of desire, I would have, like two of my friends that are girls around me, right? I forgot her name. I'm pretty sure it was Napoleon's sister. I forgot her name, but it was actually Napoleon's sister who used to have two guys with her around her. It was always two. It was never one. It was two, and it had all the other guys in the room look at her because it gave her status, and it gave her like, it amplified her values, or like her feminine qualities when it came to men, right? So if you want to amplify that and become an object of desire, and also add some mystery, get some girls, have people like look up to you, have people like always have people around you, because if you have people around you, there has to be a reason, right? Nobody's gonna look or bat an eye at the guy in the corner who's like all alone. He's alone for a reason, because like we generally give most of us give, or we humans basically just give meaning to every little thing, right? And by giving meaning to every little thing, we don't actually, like not everything has meaning and stuff like that. Like you don't have to make everything like a sign or anything like that. But basically, what I'm saying is like that guy over there is probably alone for a reason, because like we automatically think there's a reason for it. Like not consciously but subconsciously, right? So we're gonna be more subconsciously attracted to people who are more having a good time, laughing, like the group effect, right? If you say you're at a concert, right, and everybody's hyping up, you're probably gonna be hyped up too, because that energy is multiplied 10x, right? It's literally the group bias, and by using that information, you can use it to amplify your status, and then obviously amplify your presence and aura when it comes to being mysterious or like talking to people or your target, because people generally want what we can't have. That's why we want diamonds, that's why we want Lamborghinis, that's why we want like a lot of money, because it's hard to obtain, right? But it's going to be you should just make yourself an object of desire. We want things that everyone else wants, yet we also want um things that we can't have at the same time, because we can't have it, that makes us want more. So if you're trying to build mysterious, like literally be a walking contradiction, you can use it in so many different forms. You got good, bad, just hint at one quality or another. Don't overdo it, because if you overdo it, you're probably gonna be like really schizophrenic when it comes to it, right? Let's say you're like one moment you're like really happy, and then the next moment you're like freaking angry, and then like you're just like switching left to right, left to right. Don't do it too often. Just do it like here and there, like or like just a little bit quality, right? Let's say you are naturally nice, and you hint at a little bit of anger, like irrational, right? If I'm like rational and I hint at a little irrational, that contradicts of what I'm doing. Everybody's basically a walking contradiction, but a lot of people don't know how to play it properly, and I'm trying to get you to play it properly by um literally telling you how to do it. So hint at something on the opposite, right? Literally understand the opposite effect, understand what the opposite of being happy or anything like that. If you give off the impression of like you have a very sweet face and you are like very rude, it contradicts your like you literally physically contradict yourself, right? Physically you look sweet, but emotionally you're angry. That's very complex, and very, it adds depth to your character. So add depth to your character by being a walking contradiction, be a paradox, and go out and build mysterious, yeah. Anyways, I hope y'all have a great night, morning, day, or whenever you're watching this video. I love y'all. I'm gonna be making the art of seduction as the courses. Is basically going to go into a deep guide on how you can influence people. You can use it in business, you can use it with relationships, friendships, or any of the sorts like that. If you want any tips or advice on that, it's going to be like 60-70 bucks when I produce it. It's going to be some good ass content. So let me know if you're hyped for that, and if this video helped you, I'm gonna have way more information on it in the courses. So if you're interested in that, save your money and wait till I produce it so you can buy it. Anyways, I love y'all. Y'all have a great night.